Adulthood, there's always something to be done.
Yeah.
I've mainly been focused on trying to keep them,
Adulting is always quite interesting.
Indeed, indeed, and
You
this
said
weather
what?
is so this weather is killing me.
What is the temperature there right now?
If I'm not mistaken, it's 8 degrees with, like, a negative something wind chill. Just ridiculous.
Let's get into the episode. Let's launch this nice little intro. Boom. Hold on. I hit boom and then it didn't boom. Boom.
I'm dead.
Hello, 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 and welcome back
Hello.
to another episode of Basically Unbothered. And today we are joined by Dramana. Do you want to introduce yourself? Let everybody know who you are, what you do.
Yes, hi everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Tremana White. I'm an actress, author, producer, explorer. I'm just happy to be in the room. I'm very bothered. So basically, I'm bothered.
Oh my God. When I came up with the title of Basically Unbothered, and they said to me, "But you're always bothered," and I said, "Mind your business."
Okay, that basically yes. And
Basically,
what?
yes. It's ironic
Right.
because I'm because I'm never I mean, I'm quite unbothered and bothered at the same time.
I feel like it's a safe
Um,
line to always walk is to just be like, towing the line of like yes, but no, you
yeah,
know?
mhm, mhm. What, let's start with your thing, your intro because I looked this up because I was trying to do day in my lives, and I didn't wanna limit it to day in my life as a podcaster, day in my life as an indie author. I wanted it to, like, encompass everything that I do. And the robots came up with multi-hyphenate.
Mhm.
So you are also a multi-hyphenate.
Absolutely.
How did
Absolutely.
you get into all of this?
Man, let's I feel like okay, so when you think about like building your life, your parents are in control of a lot of it in the beginning. And
Mhm.
then at some point you're like, I'd like some agency. And you're like, what does that look like? And then like everything opens up to you. So I
Yeah.
feel like my parents always embraced the artist in me as a kid. And then going off to college, they were like, girl, you can't go to school for acting, nor can you do it for dance. Let's be more serious. So I, majored in economics. And I think from there, I just kind of like let things happen for me. Like I was always of the mindset that like I want to try things out. I knew that I wanted to work in entertainment, just didn't know how. So I think
Mhm.
over the years, I've just kind of curated the things that really bring value to my life. And I'm never not trying to like accomplish something or indulge in something that might suit any one of my passions. So I think that's how I got there.
I love that. I think too many people are trying to, like, put themselves in this little box or not be able to transform and change, and that limits you.
I
That
know.
creates a problem in your life, and, I also my parents did not discourage me for going into the arts. I went to school for film, and television production. I used to act, and then as a teenager, and then I realized that was not that was not where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I don't have the actors and actresses have to have such belief in themselves and a very, very, like, thick skin,
Mhm.
and I was too young and had too much going on in my personal life to actually develop thick skin like that. So, it was really sorry, I'm moving things around. It was
You're fine.
really difficult for me, and so I really just enjoyed the back end. Like, even in podcasting, I love talking. I also very much love the editing and making the clips and everything like that. But I pivoted and my mom was really pissed. I pivoted and went to psychology, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
That makes
"You."
sense for an artist, though. That makes so much sense because
Yeah,
it's like I'm always studying people. I'm a storyteller, so I'm always watching and noticing, and like that's a part of life. That's what you should be doing. Further developing.
I agree. I totally agree, and I also think that it's so key to artistry and all, whether you're acting or you're singing, you're always storytelling, and you can't storytell without understanding the motives of people.
Mhm.
Why would this person do this at this time? You know what I mean? And I see it a lot in books right now where a lot of people are writing, and I love that. I truly do. But a lot of people are writing and they're not fully analyzing, why did my character do this? What were the steps that led them to make these decisions? And sometimes you're lacking when you don't include that. I mean, those are the reasons why, actresses and actors will have full lists of characters. Like they'll create a whole backstory to their character so that they can fully understand why.
No, it's so very, very true. It's funny, I was actually reading a script this morning, and it was
Mhm.
really, really good, like, the perspective of the author, like, the main character was so clear. Some of his, like, smaller side characters were, but then it's a movie about, a man dating, and finding love again,
Mhm.
but all of the women were different versions of the same woman, his ideal woman. So he's been asking me for feedback. It's taking me so long to read the script because life be life in, but it's so true. It's like that's the aspect that's missing, and I fear giving him the advice back because artists were sensitive about our shit.
We are.
Hopefully he'll receive it, but it's true. I think life is also about that level of perspective. Like, what type of person do you want to be as a human being? I
Mhm.
think what I find challenging is being a multi hyphenate is also moving in a world where people also operate in those like strict constructs. So I have a friend who's an agent, and I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, like at a friend's birthday party, I'm talking about like industry changing and all the things going on in my life. And he's like, if I put your name, like if I put your resume on a desk for you to be an executive, know that your acting career is done. We don't do that blended here, there, and there. You need to choose one, and then maybe down the line you can do something that's really of interest to you. If you want to act at some point, you certainly can, but you got to start and stick somewhere. And I think
Mhm.
that's just so fascinating that there are still so many people who are like in those lanes and operate in those lanes. And, we really break the mold. So I think it's a privilege, but it also is somewhat of a curse to be a multi hyphenate, to have multiple passions and to be, like you said, a bit bold about them too.
Yeah, it is, even in like social media, because I do a lot of content creation because being out there, you can't just be out there anymore. You have to get people to like follow along with your story. Storytelling as well, get people to follow along with your story. And so it's quite interesting. But they always say, you have to stick to one lane.
Uh,
And I mean, maybe my social media will suffer because I'm not doing that anymore, but I didn't like it. I mean, there are some lanes that I've managed many social medias. There are some lanes where I am sticking to one topic, but like my personal things or my big TikTok, I'm gonna be all over the place, and I hope that people just will resonate. I think maybe that'll be my niche. My niche is I'm all over the place, and
yeah,
just
yeah.
join me for the ride. So I get it. What TV shows have you or TV shows, movies, whatever have you been on?
So you would think that as an actor and storyteller that I would be way more invested in television shows, but I'm
Mhm,
always late to the game. I need time. So of late I've been watching Lioness. I know that they're already into season 3. So like
mhm,
judge me for being late to the game, but that show is so well done. It's so well written, it's so smart. It's just that's the type of TV that I want to see more of that I feel like we're missing. We're missing.
mhm,
We're missing. I also just finished watching Paradise. Loved it. I do feel like it is so like cable TV. It's so like the script is written for like all different education levels, all different ages. Like I'm watching and I'm like, why did they make that choice? And I'm like, because it needs to be in every household. So that show was enjoyable, but like there were some days where I was like, okay, all right, next episode. I actually just started Weapons last night because I love horror films.
really?
But I fell asleep when it started to get good, and I was like, "I need to be rested for this because it's giving good," you know? Those are my, like, 3 of late.
I'm a binge watcher of the same TV shows over and over and over again. So I've been binge watching Private Practice.
Okay.
Just I mean, like, it's not such an
Isn't
old
that an old
show.
show? Yeah, I was gonna say that's an old show.
It's an old we're early aughts.
Yeah.
Early aughts TV show. Maybe early to late. I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. No, maybe not super early aughts. Probably like 20 2009, 2010 maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Not that old, but older.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But why that one specifically? Because there's always something about the show.
I was talking to someone and we were just mentioning it was Grey's Anatomy. Oh, I remember exactly. I was recording an episode and we were for a pop culture roundup, I was reporting that Addison Montgomery was coming back to Grey's Anatomy. And we were talking about Addison Montgomery's kind of like storyline. And she went from Grey's Anatomy to private practice. So the spinoff was written for her. And then I was like, "Oh man, that was such a good show to see her like whole arc of a human being." And I said, "Nah, I need to watch it now." And I was
Yeah.
in the mood to look for an I have to have like a safe TV show. So I was in the mood to watch binge another show that I've seen a gazillion times. So that one ended up I'm also out of date. I don't watch a lot of the new shows. I watched The Rookie, but The Rookie gives me anxiety sometimes, so I gotta give it a couple of episodes to make sure that they're not about to do something crazy, and then I'll be like, "Okay, I'm in it." And I've been doing there's another episode that comes out every week on basically Unbothered, which is basically Unbothered recap, and so
Mhm.
I've been watching The Traitors every week.
People are loving that online. People are loving it.
I wish I could stop watching it.
Yeah.
I I I but I made a promise and I was gonna do it,
Yeah.
and I started watching it because I knew one of the people that was on this season, and I've always loved supporting people,
Hell yeah.
and so but then she got kicked off, and it was in such a disrespectful way, and it's the problem is that is it entertaining? Absolutely, but if you look at it on a deeper level, it is very reminiscent of the world that we're living in now.
Mm. May I ask, she was a woman of color? Black woman? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the person leading it was blonde hair, blue-eyed white male.
Typical. Always, always. We can never escape, like, the oppression of, like, whiteness and white supremacy. It is well ingrained into every single part of our day. So, like,
Yeah.
I hear you. It's like we can't even enjoy TV.
I can't even in like, this TV which it would make sense that I love it. I love murder mysteries. I love, like, Clue. I'm all books, movies, TV shows, whatever. I love them. And I cannot love it's just glaringly it's just all in your face. This is America. And I'm just like, "No, thank you." But I have to watch it, so that has sucked. But I am going to it's been rough. I am planning on watching His and Hers. It was like a Netflix that just came out, but then I found out that it was a book, and now I gotta read the book first.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's always better to read the book first. I do love Tessa Thompson. Like, she is
Yes.
just chef's kiss. Like, you think about faces, she just has one of those, like, timeless looks. Like, if
Mhm.
I was, like, casting something and she came into the room and had, like, the talent that she has, I would be like, "Yes." 'Cause, some people are just like, you think about, Barbie. What was the actress name who did Barbie?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, yeah. She's beautiful. She's an
Mhm.
excellent actress. I really enjoyed her in Barbie, but something like Tessa is that, like, one of a kind face. Like, you can see her in 1920, in 1887, and then 2034. Like, she's just, you can put her anywhere and then she's gonna kill it when she's there. I love her. I stand. She's so good. She's so good.
She did that one movie, and I watched it, but I don't remember what it's called, but it was basically about passing, and it was supposed to be set
Oh, yes. Mhm.
and when you said that, I thought about that, like, her face did translate there, it translates into the action movies that she does, you're right, it translates into whatever she does, she
She's
feels
almost even a little ageless too. Because remember she did Dear White People in the beginning, that was, like, her first
oh my
one
gosh,
of her first.
I loved
She
Dear
was
White
so
People.
good, and, like, she's
Yes,
so different than that in so many other films, and, like, she's even more sexy now than she was before.
yeah,
She's so good. I heard that people really do enjoy the show. I've
mhm.
heard others hate it. Um, I heard it's, like, a better version of that, argumentative movie that Zendaya did during COVID with
Yeah, yeah,
Dor
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, I'm not a big drama person when it comes to, like, TV shows.
Hmm.
I'm really not. I'm like an action. I love sci-fi. So like Foundation, love
Mhm.
that show. Invasion, thoroughly enjoyed.
Love sci-fi.
So, so, so much. And we like barely get that in a good way.
Right.
So I don't know if I'll watch it because even my friends made me watch Heated Rivalry this past weekend. And
Mhm.
I'm like cute, but I don't really like romantic stuff. So like, I don't know. I don't
Like,
know.
I could do with or without it.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of pop culture, let's get into our pop culture roundup. Quick pause, because if you love dark stories that don't flinch, Olympic War isn't a soft love story. It's violent, it's chosen, and it costs everything. Through war, betrayal, and survival, Moonstone fights for devotion that refuses to die. This is a Black, multicultural dystopian series about power, sacrifice, and what rises from the ashes. Olympic War and Phoenix War. Read them wherever books are sold. Indie authors are out here building worlds, breaking rules, and telling stories you won't find on the bestsellers list. And not only can indie authors do it just as good as published authors, but they can often do it better. On Indie Ink Podcast, we interview indie authors every month about their books, their process, and what keeps them going when no one's watching.
One of the best pieces of advice I received, once you start getting negative reviews, it means that your book is reaching outside of your target audience. And when she said that, I thought that was such a wonderful way to look at it.
Jean-Paul Sartre, he's French, with No Exit says that hell is other people. Like, to be in hell is to be like with other people. The thesis of this book, or like what I thought about when I thought about like what would be like the ultimate hell for me personally.
If you love stories behind the stories, this podcast is for you. Check out Indie Ink Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, we have been covering the evolution of Hilary Duff's getting back into music on this podcast for a little bit, or a while now. Before it was basically Unbothered, when it was me and my cousin, and it was Saltfish and Side Eye. It is such a child, like, reminiscent thing. The same reason why they're making all of our child movies over again, because the adult versions of us really want to see them. Being able to see Hilary Duff make music again has been quite like it gives me joy. I don't know. Did you ever like grow up watching Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire, or anything?
Oh, yeah, definitely watched Lizzie McGuire. I wouldn't say that I was like a Lizzie McGuire stan,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoyed the show when it was on. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't anything that I'd be like, "Ooh, I hate this." And I felt like it was unfair that Miley Cyrus got to have her like Miley thing and Hillary never got her Hillary. So I think it's really dope
Yeah.
that she's getting to do her, Hillary, Lizzie, whatever she wants. Like, because I remember like the only other time that she came back into like my mind over career was when she first got veneers the first time and they were really big and people dragged her on the internet. She got skinny and she got veneers
Mm-hmm.
and they were not great. And then she popped back up recently and the veneers were great. The body was looking great. The music is coming out. And I was like, let's go, Hillary. Have a
Yes.
comeback, bitch. Do it. Change yourself. Why not?
I love it, and it's just so nostalgic, and I'm so excited to see it. And just, kind of going back on being able to do a lot of things in a lot of different avenues. She put a lot of her energy into acting. She was on a couple of different TV shows that lasted pretty long. They were thinking about rebooting Lizzie McGuire, and then it ended up not happening because she wanted it to be a little bit more adult. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to be a little bit more kid-like, which is it's a hard thing to kind of balance.
Yeah.
I mean, Raven had to do the same thing when they
Yeah, so
rebooted
true.
That's So Raven, and that's the difference. Was with Lizzie McGuire, I think they were meant to follow her along still, but with Raven's Home, it's still about Raven, but you have the younger kids that are really the people that your audience is toward. Same thing with um Full House and Fuller House. You had it was a little bit more adult because it could be because it's on Netflix, but you
Yeah.
still had younger children there. And the premise of the Lizzie McGuire reboot was supposed to be following her in her life now. So I think that it was lacking and that fell apart. And I love
What was
someone
the
who
time difference on the Lizzie McGuire remake? Because I feel like she also had kids in between all of this.
she did.
And, whereas Raven's, like, not a mom yet for
That's
whatever.
also true.
So I feel like that dynamic also changes things and what they're trying to portray Raven as being that she's like a queer Black woman compared to Lizzie being, heterosexual. But I can
Pretty
imagine.
blonde, hetero.
Yeah. I was like, we all know the rest of the details, but at
Yeah,
least she's straight.
that is true. But I think I'm all here for women reinventing themselves and not having to stay in this lane because back in the day, you hit your 30s and the kind of rule was, oh, well, your career's over now. No one wants to hear you. No one wants to see you. And a lot of these people coming back after having kids, after having all of this happen to them and be like, I'm about to become a pop artist again and I'm going to do it my way is so beautiful.
Hell
And
yeah.
so she had a premiere for like a little promo and she brought back some of her old things. And I love when people can make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
So she sung Come Clean, which is one of her big songs when we were like teenagers. And I had like all of her albums.
How does it go?
Oh wow.
I know, sorry, because
On
I
the
feel
spot, I'm
like
like, dang it, hold on. I gotta
I'm
know.
terrible with song names, but if you give me the tune, I'll be like, yep, I know it. Go
Oh,
for it.
that was Let the Rain Fall Down and Wash Away. Oh, wait, hold on. And wake my dreams, let it wash away my
Yes.
sanity. That one.
I do recall. Come on now, 21.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. So she sung that, but then there's this dance that with the resurgence of TikTok came back up. And it's because she was just
We're
not
seeing
good at
this.
dancing. And it was kind of like this. And so she recreated that dance in the concert. And that's what I love. I love when people can make fun of themselves and be like, yeah, that was terrible. But back then, to be a superstar, you had to have some dance moves.
Unless you're Mariah Carey.
Yeah. Unless
And
you
Celine
can.
Dion. But again,
But
different eras.
they had different eras and they also had different vocal ranges.
Yeah.
Like their voices could sing to the heavens.
Right. And the heavens respond.
And the heavens responded. So they got a pass. But switching topics, speaking of women who are evolving and growing, we're in award season.
Right.
Whether I agree with what awards people get or don't get, we are in award season. And a name that's coming up a lot is Tiana Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And she's having a bit of a resurgence and her acting is coming back. I remember when she was Byron and I hated her in that movie. And then she had her glow up because it was the story that she had her kid in the bathroom. Wasn't that
I did not see it, but I know what film you're talking about. It's like the struggling Black mom kind of film.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, and then like her personal stuff, she had a kid, she got her body fucking like more than snatched. Her abs are like 8 packs going on
Josh
over there.
Ford wants to be Tiana's abs.
Yes.
Like actually.
Then she was in Kanye West music videos and she had a career. But then the sad thing is, sadly, the Sierra kind of thing, what happens is that all of a sudden her life from what we saw it was great, but then a divorce rears its ugly head. I'm so sick. I'm so sick of Black women getting on like their grind and getting to a place and then their men divorcing them.
Yeah.
Or,
But wait, she divorced. I was gonna say Tiana divorced him.
yeah. But I mean like
Yeah.
it having to end in divorce because of things. So I don't know if you've seen this
yeah.
Desmond Scott. I can't remember what her name is, but there's
Not with the K.
Yeah.
Christy, I think.
Christy, yep. And they're having and that one's a mess. They're having the big divorce thing go on right now because he cheated on her, but now the girl that he cheated on her with is pregnant. And once again,
I didn't read that. Okay.
Yeah. And they were together since high school. And
To me,
it's a
there's
weird,
like a couple of issues there that I won't maybe call issues, but a couple of flags, a couple of orange flags, Middle
Mhm.
school is a really early start for being in love. Like, that is just such an early, like, I am so far from the person that I once was in middle school.
Mhm.
So I couldn't even imagine, like, growing in love with that type of person. I think the overarching, like, issue in a lot of these relationships, though, is, like, when your relationship becomes a part of how you make money. So, like, Tayana had a
Yeah.
television show with her husband. They like, when you start making yourself the power couple because you are a couple, I feel like
Mhm.
you lose the agency to also be your standalone person,
Mhm.
and you kinda have to now buy into all the stuff that comes with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that, like, they are exempt from any of the stuff that what normal people go through. Like, the reason why I tell my dating stories online is because they're so ridiculous and crazy, and I know that Tayana has probably shared a number of the same ones. If Christy had dated maybe
Yeah.
in her, like, 20s, she would have gone through some of it, but I just find it so hard for a lot of these women to just date and be their own person because they have these, like, popular marriages, you know? Like, what do you do? What do you do when you're done?
That and it's so hard because the men get forgiven and the men are women will want them just because of their status, and then the women are the ones that have to carry this broken image. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
the conversation is more the conversation should be more about Desmond and what he did, and whether or not they were splitting up or he was trying to split up, you were still married. The conversation is just about Christy. And I hate that, but one of the things that I love, which is what Tiana Taylor's in right now, is the glow up.
Mhm, mhm.
I Sierra's glow up, even, Cardi B's kind of glow up, when she got rid of Offset. I love a glow up. And Tiana Taylor is like what I want little girls to look at when they go through a terrible breakup or something and it feels like it's devastating and your whole world will never be the same. And I'm going to be like, look at her. She just won, what did she won? An Emmy?
Yep.
She just won an Emmy. And do I think it should have been Ariana Grande? Yes, but I'm an Ariana Grande stan. So, but I'm very happy for, I mean, not only did she do that, she's working with big movie creators and actors and actresses. Even, she's in All's Fair, which I watched most of. The first episode was terrible.
I was
The
gonna say, I
rest
heard that show was awful.
the first two episodes were terrible, and I wonder if they made it terrible on purpose. Because here's the thing, I can't remember who the producer is, but he's also the producer of like American Horror Story and a lot of other shows right now.
Oh, yes, yes. The people on
Brian,
threads are saying, yeah, oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name, but they're saying the more he sells himself out to, like, celebrity culture, the worse
yeah,
the television show gets. Um, I know exactly who you're talking about, but I cannot remember his name for the life of me.
it's Ryan Murphy.
There we go, Murphy. I was gonna say Gosling, and I'm like, it's not Gosling though. Get Gosling. You know when, like, something gets stuck in your head, you know it's
Yes,
wrong. Like, it's not what
you're
I'm
like,
trying to
it's not
say.
that though. But he has so much clout that he can play games with his TV shows. He just does. He has so much clout that he could, if he wanted. I'm not
Like,
saying
you
he
have a
did,
cast like that, and that's the content that you make. Like, please be serious.
but
Please
here's
be
what I
serious.
think. I think he made the first two episodes terrible on purpose because what did everybody do? Talk about
Mm. Oh, but see, that to me is just like, ugh,
it.
such horrible art, horrible art, horrible
It
art.
is. And honestly, I also think a problem is the first episode was obviously the pilot, and the pilot was probably directed by him, written by him. And I think that what a lot of people may not know is that when TV shows, TV shows have showrunners, but the showrunners very rarely are the writers in the room. So they have like a whole writing room that writes
Mhm.
each episode, and directors circle through this as well. And so I think one of the things that made a difference was that he probably wasn't writing and directing some of the other episodes.
Mm.
And so
I
it
I I don't know. I feel like it's gotten to a point where, like, when you have enough status, you can just kick everybody out the room and do what you want. Like, Tyler Perry is a clear cut example of that. Like, not to
that's
shift
true.
gears, but, like, he barely pays his writers. If and when he does, he still takes their name off and, like, puts his name
Really?
at the end script. Like, he's I've heard some things, and if you've seen an episode, like, my dad loves Sisters. Their writing is horrible.
It's so funny that you say this.
To me, it's just lazy art. Lazy.
I was just talking to my dad about this, about how I do not like the show, how I feel like it contributes to negative stereotypes of Black women. And although it is lazy art and it's almost like social media art, it's rage baiting you.
And it's also slow. Like, I was watching an episode with my dad, and it took them 5 minutes for them to actually engage in a conversation where the conversation moved forward. It was like, "Well, why'd you say that? And are you gonna tell her?" "Well, I don't know. Should I tell her? And should you tell her?" "I don't know if I should tell." Like, can we get on with it? Like, I know I'm a fast talker, like East Coast girl, but like, we gotta get somewhere in this. It's a 30-minute episode, and we just spent 7 minutes trying to figure out who said what. Like,
Yeah.
it gives social media content. It gives, like, I don't know. Like you said, like, they're taking their time because people will chat about it anyway. But not to get us too off, I wanted to go back to Teyana really quickly. One thing I think when we were talking about multi-hyphenates earlier is the reason
Mhm.
why I think a large part of her career also struggled is because she was from the beginning. Like, she could model, she could act, she could sing, she could dance. What do you
Mhm.
do with someone who can be in so many different places? So
You don't
she
know what to do.
wrote, you don't know what to do. So she did the music thing, and they're like, she wants to act, so let's typecast her and everything that's ba ba ba, door knocker earrings. And now she's like finally moved away from it. She's finished, the marriage and the family show and the reality television. It's like, I want to be taken seriously. And so she's moving like it too. You know what I mean? Even dating like a serious actor, like that all
Mhm.
plays into like the PR of who you're trying to become. So I'm proud of her, but I definitely think again, it's sometimes in entertainment, you got to just like find a lane.
It is, and it's sad because if you think about it, I remember the first time I saw her was on My Sweet 16.
The
And
original.
yeah, and she was very different than how she presented when she popped out a couple of years ago, and she does keep reinventing herself, but in a very authentic way. So in
Mm-hmm.
that sense, I could see how hard it is for people to connect with her, and I could see why certain people would feel, a certain way, but I that's the reason why I'm happy for the era we're getting into now, because we're realizing you don't have to be one thing,
Yeah.
and it's opening the doors for a lot more women creators, men, whoever, to get to be their authentic selves and still make it in an industry. And the industry is still flawed. I don't know. I know enough about it that when I was in film production, I learned enough to walk away.
Right.
I had a teacher, it was a screenwriting teacher, and he was telling me all of the horror stories about having to be on the back end of, I'm going to say this, I think actors and actresses, specifically actresses, have it really bad in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But they're on the back end, it's a men's game. Producing, editing, writing, cinematography, all of that is still like a boys' club. And
Mm-hmm.
so my teacher was very honest about what it would be like for me to be a woman in that industry and how I would get treated and what I would have to accept. And even to be a writer, I basically could write I could have wrote Titanic
Right.
and I would never get credit for it. And I can't do anything, like someone would take it and steal it. And I can't do anything about it because if I do something about it, I'm out the industry for the good. No one's ever going to
I
work
mean,
with me
think
again.
about The Matrix, made by a Black woman, stolen. Whole universe built around white men.
Yeah.
It's true.
It changes things. Speaking of a universe built by white men, we are seeing something happen that is beautiful that usually doesn't happen, and it's a universe written by a Black man making history for receiving 16 Oscar nominations for Sinners. Sinners has made history for receiving 16 Oscars nominations as the most nominated movie in Oscar history.
Incredible and much deserved. Like, wows across the board. Across the
Mhm.
So good.
I
So well done.
I the marketing on it was genius because you did not know what it was about.
Yeah.
And it was smart because if you knew what it was about, you probably would have prejudged it and maybe not watched it and maybe been like, maybe it's not really for me. I because I couldn't put my finger on it, it took me a really long time to get to watch it.
Mm.
Because I'm a person that could watch a trailer. What is it? The Fault in Our Stars. I watched The Fault in Our Stars like teaser trailer, and I immediately said she dies in the end.
Well, you know why? Because the trailers are much longer than they used to be. So now we
Yeah.
get like the pre-trailer, mid-trailer, and then you get the big trailer, and they're
Mhm.
entirely too long. Why are you giving me 3 minutes of the movie and all the best parts? It's like they don't believe in marketing anymore because they're not spending it sitting in the CEO's pockets of these, large production houses. But they do too much. I love back in the day where your trailer was a minute 15, 45, a minute
Yeah.
30. So I
Remember
can be
the little
excited. I don't
quick
even watch
15
trailers because of it.
seconds?
Mm-hmm. Give me that.
Yeah. Yes, but the Sinners trailer kind of went back to that to me. It was there you really didn't get much of what the movie was about from watching it. You know what I mean? I had no idea it was about vampires until my friend watched it and she told me. And she's like, "You have to watch this movie." And I'm really big on not watching movies, TV shows, reading books that get a lot of hype. It ruins it for me, so it takes me a
Yeah.
second to get to them because I wanna have an authentic experience with it, not something that's been diluted by what other people say and think or whatever.
I'm the exact same way.
Are you?
I mean, how I started. That's why it took me forever to watch Lioness,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Paradise. I'm like, you're gonna have to catch me in like some months or two where I forget that it's trending so that I can
Right.
just fully
Mid
enjoy it.
while it's on, like, its long season break,
Yep. No
catch me then.
spoilers. Catch me then. Period.
Um, but yes, I'm so that way, so it took me a really long time, but I loved Sinners. I love Sinners I love movies. When I wanted to make movies, I wanted to make movies because and this is the same reason why I write books now. I believe that you could tell a story, a completely fictional story, and say everything you wanted to say about how you view the world and help change people's perspectives without them even really realizing that that's what you're doing. A good fiction story written correctly can do that. It can make you re-examine your life and everything. Same with music. And honestly,
Look
there's
at you.
TV
You're
shows.
putting that psychology degree to work, girl. I hear you. I'm seeing it.
I mean,
It's true. It's so true.
it's so true. And one of the things I love about Sinners was that it made such an commentary. And some of it was very in your face and some of it wasn't, but it made such a commentary on Black existence at a certain time, on trying to find a lane for yourself in a world that was not created for you. And what's the word I'm looking for? The word means when one culture and another culture meld together. It happened with some Asian cultures. It happens even with some Native American cultures where they adapted these
Matriculation, maybe?
maybe they adapted these beliefs and systems, and even in the African American culture to be white adjacent or to have
Mhm.
in white favor.
Right, right.
And I don't know if a lot of people paid attention to what was happening with the vampires, but the vampires represented people who were it was Irish culture. Irish culture has a lot of oppression that a lot of people don't know about. And they were an oppressed person trying to oppress more people, but get them to be on their side, but give up who they are to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, you're never going to fit in this game. Don't try. So why don't you try to come over here and, and that's
Yeah.
something is a big commentary, especially about American history.
Right, right. During that time specifically.
And
Something true.
there's so much that a lot of people don't understand. I remember when earlier this, I guess last year now, earlier last year, Beyonce came under fire for wearing her Buffalo Bills shirt.
The original logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a problem with it a little bit, but not as much as everybody was, bouncing back and forth about it. But what a lot of people didn't consider is how Native American, indigenous people had to adjust to survive, how African Americans had to adjust to survive, because the other option was that you'd be ostracized, you'd be beaten, you could be killed. And I think Sinners had good commentary about that. But it was also a little scary for me. I called my mom and I was like, why didn't you guys tell me this was going to be scary? And she said, I thought you love vampires. I said, I do, but the ones that you want to make out with.
The lovey-dovey ones,
Yeah.
the romance. I know my best friend went to see it and she was like, I was in there pleading the blood of Jesus. She's very Christian, so there's that. But I didn't, I'm a horror girl, so I loved it. It reminded me a lot of like what Lovecraft Country did with horror and how
Yes.
they like it was a tribute to like everything that we love about horror.
Mhm.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it for that reason. I love the social commentary. I even love the actors, the choices that they chose. Like, the white girl who was passing and how it created so much conversation about what passing actually is and what mixed actually looked like during that time. I
Right.
just felt like it was just like so smart, so well done. I think Michael B. Jordan has come such a long way as an actor. Like from him starting off in soaps to where he is now, like you can just see him become the characters. And
Yeah.
I just felt like it was such a well done story, well done music. I love that he's building a universe around it and that we get to like potentially see that. Because to your point, it just doesn't currently exist. And people are afraid of having those conversations. I mean, look at entertainment now. We have like one black show per network, where before we'd have like 4, 5, or 6. Like they
Mhm.
even were canceling shows like Grand Crew. Like they canceled Southside, representation of Chicago. Like none of that exists. So
Mhm.
I'm proud that he is still standing like 10 toes down and making the content that matters and that we need to see, because the conversations need to continue to happen and the stories need to be told, whether it's through, fiction, nonfiction, whatever
Mhm.
have you. It needs to happen and we're craving it.
Yes.
Like it did it outstandingly, in numbers. It is my dream to work with him in a film. Like I pray that I'm casted on something someday, some universe.
All right.
Hopefully
So,
close.
Internet Warriors, you guys have to get into that.
Right.
But while we're talking about the 60 nominations, there's also mentions of the snubs that happened for the Oscar nominations. Wicked for Good got 0 nominations, which hurts. I did read that. It hurts because that movie says so much about the current world going on, and it's hidden behind glitz and glam. But if you really pay attention to what that movie is saying, it has beautiful social commentary.
We're
And
also in the colors, by the way.
yes, and I'm am I upset that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande didn't get a nomination? Absolutely. They were fantastic. I don't think people pay enough attention to how much work went behind, or was behind the scenes to make this movie. But snubs on the set design and the like costume design is just annoying to me.
Because it was
Uh
oh my God. You don't have to take photos in the movie theaters, but I certainly was. That little lace number that Ariana wore before her like wedding, it was like a dress within like a lace cover up.
yes.
Ooh, had me sweating. I'm like, where can I wear something like that?
Like
That makes sense. And I don't like pink, but like I'm just like, that was just
it was everything.
mind-blowingly beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say I don't think that I think it's unfair to have musicals and categories with dramas.
Yes.
No one, if you don't like musicals, it's going to be hard for you to even watch, let alone understand like how intense it was to create. And I have a friend who actually was on the editing team for both films,
Mhm.
and they are recording a lot of this stuff live. Like those
Yeah.
vocals are there.
Yeah.
Like that is incredibly hard to do. So you're mixing acting with blocking. Blocking is when, for the listeners, is basically you have to set up the set. It's like you're on a stage to a certain degree. We got
Mhm.
to know where you're going, hitting your mark, the spot that you're standing on. Like you have to be able to be in your body, be in your voice, be like
It's a
it's
lot of work.
incredible. It's a lot of work. I do think number 1 was better than number 2. But I think a lot of the issues with that is that we don't see them as separate entities because they were released too quickly together. So I think that they should have waited at least 2 years or 3 even.
Look, let me tell you the ways I would have burned down cities if I had to wait.
But see,
but
because you're a fan. But for the
right.
rest of us, they could have built that into the marketing. Like something is coming. Is
And
Alphaba back? Like
the marketing took a big hit. There's a lot of things that are, going on in our current climate as well that wasn't happening when the first movie came out, but is happening now. And I think marketing took a hit there.
and
Next,
also the weird, interviews they were doing together, the
I
like
love
very
them.
touchy. But again, you're a fan. For a lot of people who aren't, they're like, what
They're
is
like, what?
going
And a
on?
lot of people who don't understand like thespians and people who like, you get really sensitive and emotional. And if you went on a 5-year journey with someone and it was just you and them for the most part, you're gonna get weirdly attacked. Like, I'm sorry,
But
you
then
are.
also remember on top of that, you have like the Cynthia Erivo scandal with
Mhm,
her now partner's ex-wife. There was like
mhm,
cheating involved there. Then you have Ariana stealing some man's stealing, but whatever, breaking up a marriage with little ones right around the first film. So it's like
mhm.
people remember all of that chaos. Now
Yeah.
they're coming into new chaos, new film, and then they're like literally hand in hand everywhere. I think it was like really distracting. I think if like their publicist had been like, let's tone it down. You guys, yes, are besties, but we've got to tell the story and why it's impactful to now. What are we talking about in diversity? I think it would have like led on really well and
Yeah,
would have been more impactful.
I agree. Going to mention a couple more. Tessa
Yep.
Thompson didn't get nominated for Hedda.
I've heard that's amazing. It is on my list for this snow weekend. We'll
Yeah,
report back.
I haven't heard much about it, but I'm excited. I'm trying to see any ones that are big ones that I could say. Oh, Guillermo del Toro didn't get nominated for Frankenstein, and I heard that's fantastic.
Hmm.
I heard it's
Hmm.
fantastic. Um, there's
I did
some
hear
here.
that too when it had come out as well, that like the costuming was really great. Oh, we can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, I was about to
There
say
we
it's
go.
on Netflix now, so it's on my list to
Easy watch.
watch. Yeah, I'd sit down, and I heard it in the book community. So many people loved it that they were like, "What book can outside of Frankenstein itself? What book can I find to read that's going to give me this energy because I want to live in this world?"
That's really cool.
Yeah. So those are
That's
just
really cool.
some. There's some that I like don't care about, to be honest. Miley Cyrus not getting nominated for Best Original Song in Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Oh, this last Avatar, like
Was it good? I
tomato,
didn't see it yet.
tomato, 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 tomato. You're gonna be. It's a. What was it that Aretha Franklin said? Beautiful gowns.
That's the equivalent of telling someone, "You're so pretty. You're so
Like
pretty."
after they just did like an hour long dance performance on point, or doing like I
Yeah.
just. I feel like it's so tone deaf. It's like again, white people trying to do black and indigenous shit when we're not at the table to have the conversation. And even I love her to death because she's so great in Lioness. I'm forgetting her
Zoe
name.
Saldana?
There we go. Talking about this character as racist as a black person, in my opinion, you cannot be racist. You can be a bigot, but you cannot be racist because
You
we
can be
it's a,
prejudiced, you can be a bigot, but you cannot be
yes.
racist because race is a system and we do not gain. This is coming from Tessa Thompson. You're white people, OG. Racism is a system, and we as black people do not gain from said system. Therefore, we cannot be racist. We can be prejudiced.
Period. It's literally in books. You want to read Asada Shakur, you want to read Fred Hampton. It is literally this by definition, that is what it is. And so just hearing a brown actress say this about a made up fucking character, I'm like, everybody is just out of their minds. And then you got this little white boy running around with locks. I just was like, it just again, it could go so many places and it didn't. It didn't.
I saw some of that, and some of that was a little off-putting. I haven't even seen the second one yet, honestly. It in the complete opposite of what you're talking about with The Wicked, it's too long.
And that's the other thing. Like, I took tea breaks and didn't miss a damn thing. Like, you gotta break it up for me. You gotta break it. Like, you gotta cut some stuff out.
You gotta cut some stuff out, and also, to me, it's also been too long between the first Avatar and then the
Yeah.
second one. Like, I don't care anymore. I don't mean that in a mean way. I just don't. I was so interested in it in the beginning, and I would have loved to have if a sequel would have came out within 5, 6 years, I would have seen it. But we're past a decade of it.
And also remember, like, over the time, they're also pivoting the focal point characters. Like, you've now transitioned me to thinking about this woman and this man, and now I'm on their like orphaned white son. Like, but the dad is still a large part of why. Like, I just was like, I'm not like, what are we here for? Like you said,
Yeah.
it's been 10 years. Again, it's so beautiful. It's like I want to enjoy it, but it wasn't a lot of like world building like the first one did. So like the Ash people, we don't get to see their world that much. Their world is like one small tribe. And I'm like, you can't tell me this Ash people have been terrorizing the rest of the goddamn planet this whole time. And we've never seen them. We don't know how they got their animals, how they got their gifts, and all of a sudden they are the cat's meow. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I made comments online and people kind of dragged me for it, like on threads, because they're just like,
Oh,
I
people be
basically was
having
like, too many of the characters are white as well. Like, why? Okay, biggest thing, and then I'll leave it alone.
Okay.
So Journey Weaver is almost 80 years old voicing a teenage character. That is crazy to me. And you're distracted by it the whole damn movie. The whole movie. You're like, is that an old lady? Where's the old lady? Oh, it's a teenager.
Ugh. All right. We're gonna hop off of that. We're gonna get on our last
Right.
topic of the pop culture roundup, which is there's family drama between the Beckhams. I don't know if you've seen this.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
have I have zero game in this. The hard part is that I don't know. I think when someone tries really hard to tell you who someone is, they're usually playing a game. Have followed Victoria Beckham and David Beckham kind of on and off, but not seriously. They've, to me personally, are like Mary Kate and Ashley. Mary Kate and Ashley is big in the fashion world, but you don't hear shit about them for real, for real. You know what I mean?
Because they have sense.
Victoria
They
and
saw
David,
what they saw what went down with Lizzie Lohan, and they were like, not gonna be us.
right?
Not gonna
So
do it.
Victoria and David Beckham have been pretty silent about their personal life for the most part, and I love that in a person. Right? You're still making your bag. Your brand is succeeding. He's succeeding. You guys are doing things outside of promotional things. You guys keep things pretty private. You didn't try to have a reality TV show about your family. None of that. But now the narrative is being Victoria Beckham is such a narcissist.
I was gonna say they did actually do some stuff around their relationship.
No, they
They
did.
did that Netflix documentary thing.
She did the Netflix documentary, and I listened to her podcast on Call Her Daddy. And, you know, she talked about, so she had opened up about a lot of things that we probably never knew. And she talked about how she never really imagined opening her life up. But when the opportunity came and a lot of people were like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, she finally acquiesced to it. But she was okay with her life being private as well. And we got this Netflix documentary 2 decades after her, you know.
Superstardom launch and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the way that she played her whole career was very smart and very high fashion.
It was giving very posh Spice. My husband loves me. My kids are beautiful. We dress well. We do things as a unit. We're good.
Right.
And now look.
And so I've been listening to some of the TikToks about it and reading some of the articles, because originally it was her son says that she's a narcissist, and that when they had the first dance for him and his wife, and his mom took over and danced on him inappropriately, and he's selling this narrative. And then someone who was at the wedding goes on and says, oh, well, actually, I think it was Mark Anthony or something, was officiating or singing, and he initiated the dance, but then said, can the most beautiful woman in the room come up for a dance? And he called to Victoria Beckham.
Okay, I didn't get those exact details, but okay, all right.
I mean, like, do your big one. And so Victoria Beckham came up to the stage. And I want to be clear, I don't think that it was the right thing to do, but they also seem like a family who keeps their drama inside. And when you reach that level of like sophistication, you don't make a scene, you don't go, oh no, you just deal with it in the moment. And then when you get out of that moment, we have a family powwow and be like, yo, that wasn't my intention, but I was put on the spot. And, I don't think that what she did was okay. And apparently they're saying that his wife that she was dancing on him inappropriately was interesting because from what they said, it was more like Mark Anthony said, put your hand on your mom's hips. Like he was, and I don't know if it was because they were dancing like this, like, slow dancing or whatever, but as a kid, you slow dance with your parents. And as an adult, some people still slow dance with their parents. But I remember him saying, that his wife was really upset and she ran out crying.
You have to remember, like, white culture is so different than brown cultures.
That's true.
Like for Caribbean people, so speaking like Hispanics and, the whole Black Caribbean diaspora,
Yeah.
I'm not Latina at all, but like I grew up around them. You
Mhm.
salsa dance, you bachata with your parents. Like,
In
you go
the
to,
Caribbean cultures.
so, it's so different. They look at things like I was in Colorado with my best friends this past weekend, and her nanny, who's white, she's
Mhm.
25, was like, I've never been to a party like this. It was a day party. And she was like, I didn't even know what to tell my family about this event because I didn't know what to call it. I'm like, girl, it's a day party where we dance. She's like, yeah, when we do events, we don't do this. So I think in white culture, like, they just don't know what we're used. So if that did actually happen, I could see there being a little bit of confusion. But in general, I'm also just like, I like to stay out of like the white celebrity drama
Yeah.
because their terms are so different. Like, and they do crazy shit to each other. Like, I think white normal culture is also nuts.
Yeah.
So now
that's
you
true.
add millions of dollars, superstardom, and you're getting like, she went up at the wrong time. Like, that's on your wedding coordinator, honestly, respectfully.
No. 100% agree. If you had a good wedding coordinator, here's my two things. That's on the wedding coordinator, but interestingly, let me be very clear. If it's my wedding and I'm supposed to be dancing with my husband and my dad comes up, I'm gonna be like, love you. Can we bring like
But to
you?
your earlier point, in these families, they keep shit in private. Like the powwow is happening after the event.
You're
So he was
right. You're
probably
right.
seething and just like, gotta let her have her moment, which I do probably believe that she is some level of a narcissist. Like you have to be when you've had that level of fame for so long.
Mhm.
But it's also what we were talking about earlier. When you make your brand your family and you start having family beef and you start deciding to have your own agency in your family, that's going to shake the table. That's going to, cause some ruckus. And I think whatever they've got going on and clearly don't have going on is going to be like irreparable for quite a long time.
Yeah. I did love their statement about it though. Their
The
statement.
Beckhams, the mom and dad.
I didn't see mom. I saw dad. And
Oh, okay.
he was just basically, we love all our kids. We don't want to take away from our experience of our kids. We allow them to have their feelings and we hope for healing from the situation.
Great answer.
Perfect answer.
Great answer. I
Per-
just
I
again
loved it so much.
taking your family drama to the internet is so funny as well. I mean, everybody freaking does it, but I just think
Yeah.
it's so funny at that level and him being like, they care more about brand partnerships. Well, duh, because that keeps them wealthy. That keeps your wedding paid for, young man. Like this is like such like wealthy shit that I'm like,
First
you're
world
mad
country
about like
problem.
a $20,000 gown, babe. But again, it's
Yeah.
also fun to talk about because the Posh Spice having family drama is also hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. It's wild. But moving on from all of the pop culture to talking about you. If rest is something you're learning, not mastering, Pure Tifa Cafe was made for you. Books by indie authors, hand-blended teas, candles, and rituals you can take home with you. It's a bookstore, a holistic self-care space built for soft moments and real life. Visit PureTifa.com to shop now and use code UNBOTHERED at checkout to receive 10% off. Pure Tifa Cafe. Take the cafe home.
Well, owe me.
They'll owe you, and not
What
just
you mean
you,
now?
but our main topic today, which is something you mentioned earlier in all this recording, which is dating and the realities of dating through the decades of your life and in this world that has changed so much. I don't date.
And
At
I don't
all.
blame you at
Oh
all.
my gosh.
I do not blame you.
People ask me all the time, and I'm like, no, won't catch me doing it. And they're like, why? I said, it's hostile out there. I'm going to make a statement and everyone's going to get really pissed and everyone's going to have to suck it the fuck up. I am currently not dating Black men.
Oh, heard.
Not because I don't love Black men. I love Black men. I love Black men. For a long time, I wanted to have little boys that'll be raised into Black men. But that, whatever is going on in that industry, or not industry, but in that circle, it feels like an industry at this point. Sometimes it feels very volatile. The way that a lot of Black men are hyping themselves up about mistreating women is like wild to me. And no, I don't want to say it doesn't happen in other things. To be clear, I'm also not planning on dating white men.
Because them are the most dangerous ones.
Like, I don't have the time.
Statistically speaking, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I don't have the time. But for me, dating just is not safe. And not even not safe like, oh, someone's gonna hurt me or attack me or whatever, but like emotional, it's like a minefield.
It's so like, you know, talking about my crazy dating stories and why I started telling them online. I mean, I'm writing a book about my dating life and it doesn't have a release date yet, but if you're interested and you want to laugh, you can go to my Instagram. It's at Tremana White. It's just my name. You know, a lot of the comments that I get are like, one, I'm entitled, I'm stuck up, and like I should choose better men. And I think that people need to recognize that like there's like a number of things at play here. One, I've just been very unlucky in love. A lot of people are very unlucky in life. And that just happens. Like, I am so sorry that this has been my dating life. And I'm sorry that it offends you that I have all these negative things to say about men. But it is my experience. It's like if I were a scientist working in a lab and I keep, you know, doing experiments, and I get the same results. I'm sorry, but this is just this is the results of the work that I've been doing.
Like, what do they want?
What do they want me to do? I would love for me to not have all these negative stories, but I do. Then you have, you know, the whole topic of like choose better men. I wish genuinely that I could, but a lot of the times, like what you're, you know, discussing with men is that they're really, whatever team they're playing on, they're really horrible and they take pride in like harming women. And me having been victim of this for a really long time, I haven't always been super entitled, to be honest with you. I just started learning and paying attention and reminding myself of what my parents taught me and my loved ones like instilled in me. And I'm like, man, I'm accepting the bare fucking minimum. Like I have friends who are in actual happy marriages.
Yeah.
That like I don't have any comparable experiences to. And I think when it boils down to it, in trying to choose better, they've even tried to help me. Like they're like, "Oh, let me set you up with a friend," but he's not good either. So like, where do we land?
It's to piggyback on one of the things you said. I hate the psychology major in me. People use terms loosely without understanding what they actually mean. One of them is privilege. I'm going to put that out there. We're not talking about white privilege or things. I think people don't understand honestly what the definition of privilege is, but gaslighting, things like that, narcissists.
Yeah.
People just throw those out now. Entitled is one of those things that people throw out simply when you have standards and when you have expectations and rules that you have put into place to protect yourself. And also because you know what you want and you know what you're looking for. And some people who got married younger do not understand that as older. When I had this conversation with my cousin, what I was looking for dating in my 20s is so different when I'm looking for in my 30s. And it has more standards because it should. When I was dating in my 20s, I was dating for fun. When I was looking for a partner, I was looking for a partner I would have fun with. And I wasn't thinking about the implications, even when I was with someone and I wanted to be married to them.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about the implications of what is our life going to look like? How much money are we going to be stable? I was thinking, I'm in love. We have fun. We get each other. That's not something that you do in your 30s. In your 30s, you're okay. Are you going to make me happy? Are you going to be able to provide these things that I need for safety and security? Are we going to get along together? Do our finances? That doesn't make you entitled. That will, to me personally, dating may suck for you, But when you find your person, you're going to find your person.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate when people call that entitled.
It's to me, it's like what you said. It's just they're just chatting to chat at this point. Because
Yeah.
I mean, even if we go back to like how I used to date when I was younger, I did think about money, future, finance. Like those things are really important to me because of how I was raised. And so when
Hmm.
people say, choose better men and that you're way too entitled to expect, like one of my most recent stories was about this man who had come to my city, had hit me up, and he was like,
Hmm.
"Hey, I have some tickets for you at Will Call if you'd like to come to my concert."
Hmm.
We hadn't spoken in some months, but we had hit it off romantically when I had first met him. So there was, it was cute. We were interested. So I heard from him. I was like, oh, that's nice. Got me up out of my bed on a cold winter night on a Wednesday. And I went to this
Oh,
dance concert and it was general admission tickets, which is absurd. He was the headliner. It was his tour. So people are dragging me online. You should have been grateful. No, I shouldn't have been grateful because that is not my norm.
I could have bought myself I could have bought myself general admission tickets. Like
But the
I
thing
could
is,
have.
I don't anyway. I do not go. I have not sat in general admission since I was 16 years old, and I'm not doing it at 36. My first time at Coachella, I was given an artist pass. Like it's just not my norm, and people want. I think people don't know what they don't know, so they don't know how other people are living. But you being okay with just getting tickets to a concert, great on you. But that doesn't make me entitled.
But it's all about like our personal preferences. For instance, my aunt only flies first class. If
Period.
someone wanted to fly her out, you have to buy her first class. She flew me out because I was staying in St. Thomas to take care of my grandma, who's passed away, but she had dementia. And I was helping my aunt take care of her. When she flew me out to live in St. Thomas, she flew me out first class. Now, when she flew me out different times, it was different. This time, I was considered like her employee because she was paying me to do it.
Right.
First class. My mom does not sit in general admission for concerts. She likes front row or on the floor. If she's not on the floor, guess what?
She's not going.
She's not going. And so sometimes she will pay the remainder of someone's tickets because if you're going with her, you best of be and that's just how it, and I respect that for people. Like I don't have that problem. My cousin, she's kind of the same way. I don't give a shit where I sit at concerts personally. I mean, like, I don't want to sit all the way at the top, but I'm here to listen and hear you. I'm a little different. That's me though, right? When I went with my cousin, she paid for the tickets. We sat on the, main floor. Cool, great, love it. So everybody has their own standards and you can't get mad at somebody because they have their standards or ask them to lower it. If you don't meet those standards, then fuck off.
Yeah, respectfully. And the funny part too in it is like, I don't like floor seats. I'm too little to be on the floor. Like, I need to be like propped up because I also like to see the choreography. I like to see like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
lighting. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I grew up dancing. Like, I love performance. So for me, I'm like VIP somewhere with the seat because I'm a dancer. I'm a dance, but I'm gonna get tired. So I'm gonna need to sit
I'm gonna need to
down.
sit down. Yep.
Okay. So there's like a lot of things at play. I met the gentleman in VIP. So like there was that aspect of it as well. That's just like, you met me where you met me. You knew what I was used to.
You knew but here's the problem. And that's the problem with dating right now is that men know what your expectations are and they want to try to lower them.
Completely. Completely. And a headliner trying to do that is diabolical. And that was the point of me telling the story. Like people are like, enjoy the gesture. He clearly didn't like you. Yeah, I know he didn't like me. That's also part of the story is like men will go out of their way to try to humble you. And
Yeah.
I was nice enough and I stayed because I've been at concerts where like the person will send someone on their PA team or the
To come
promoter to
get
come get me.
you.
And then midway through the show, when they get a break and intermission, we'll have a, hang out. But like I've seen too much. I've done so much in my life, and I'm so blessed for those experiences. But
Mhm.
I've been very unlucky in love to where someone who was romantically interested in me tried to put me in GA at his own concert, and I didn't even know he was an artist when I met him. Like, actually, I'll tell you guys a story because context is important, and
Mhm.
I didn't give context because on Instagram they only give you 3 minutes, and people are not engaged past a minute and a half. So when I met him in LA, I was in line at Anderson Paak's nightclub, the new one that just opened up,
Mhm.
and they sell tacos in the back. So I'm like back there in line. My best friend, she loves to eat. And so I was like, I'll get you some tacos. I turned to her to like ask her what she wants. She was sitting down. And this fine ass man is behind me. And if I see something I like, I'm going to say something. So I was like, "Excuse me, you are so handsome." He's like, "Thank you." He's like, "You're so beautiful." We start chit chatting. We end up spending like the rest of the night partying together. So I
Mhm.
say all that to say, like, the original starting point was what it was. We had a great time together. He knew what it was. I didn't know who he was. We literally bonded over Kenya because he had just come back, and I love
Wow.
Kenya. I've been in Nairobi. I love Nairobi so much. I love Kenya. But people are always looking for an opportunity to try to make you feel like shit when you share your experiences. And it's just like what doesn't work out doesn't work out. I'm not mad about the fact that it didn't work out. I'm mad that you try to play me with
Yeah.
GA. So let's all laugh together at how diabolical GA is. Gen
It
Pop, crazy.
it's I'm not disagreeing with you. I 100% agree. I think that I'd be I would be pissed because to me there's this I'm trying to like form like I'm sorry, it made me angry and I'm trying to form my words. He Yeah, I don't think he really liked you. I think he was trying to impress you or trying to pass on to you how big he is
Yes, because I didn't know. Yes.
without having to make a really big effort. He wanted you to know that you were lucky to get in. And n- to me, people are like, women are the prize. No, fuck it. We're both the prize. But for us both to be the prize, we have to treat each other like we're the prize. I had this guy, kid you not.
So sorry, before you tell your story,
Mm,
so well put. And I titled that story on my Instagram,
mm.
Make a Fan. He tried to make me a fan. And that
Mhm.
is exactly what it is.
That is what he
And,
did.
and a lot of the comments were from men like, if it were me, but honey, it wasn't you. You're not a touring artist and you wish that you could be, and yet you are not. So let's
And
all
let
stop trying to be who we're not.
and on top of that, and yet you're probably jobless because you're spending all your time commenting on my videos on social media, and people who got money and things to do don't spend their time commenting on other people on social media. There is never a bigger sign of a broke man than someone who comments on my shit on social media.
And keeps up with it. I have like a couple regular stuff, like I won't call them stalkers. Okay, let's call them
They're
fans. Ooh,
At this
they
point they
always have
are.
something to say. Always. And I'm like, sir, this is the only way that you will ever get to see me or be in a space where you can communicate with me. And that's why a lot of times they're nasty. Cause I told one man I would look through you on one of my first videos. And there were like hundreds of men who were so upset. That's so mean to say, but it's true. I would.
Men who men who just men get really hurt. It's I'm going to give you a perfect example, okay? We didn't get to talk about the text message between Blake Lively and
Oh, right, right.
Taylor Swift, but whatever. Shit happens. One of the things they did was call Justin Baldoni a bitch. This is context because everyone's like, oh my gosh, how can you do that? Men call women bitches all day. So why do you get mad at me when I say it to you, but you can call that to me whenever you want? Like, no, 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 no. Men get so mad when women dog them, but you were the one that started this shit. I would have never had to put you in your place if you did never find your broke, uninterested butt on my side of social media.
Broken ugly, because let's not forget, they look like feet.
Oh, 9 times out of 10, they are either people they're either people who have a celebrity as their background, a meme or a GIF as their background, a avatar as their background, or their own self, and they think that they're doing something, and they over here looking like, "This is so mean," but feed the children.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or they took all the food from the children.
That
And
too.
I'm not even trying to be fat phobic. I'm just saying, like, there was a guy I was talking to, and at one point he was on his way to an event with a
Mhm,
friend,
mhm,
and I don't even know how we got on this, but he had shared a photo of like my feet. I had just like done a like cute little pedicure or whatever. And this ugly ass motherfucker had the nerve to like have feedback on my feet. And I'm like, you look like the toe that never made it to a person's foot, but you have the nerve to be talking to me about my beautiful little feet. Like, the audacity of them,
dude,
it blows my mind.
the nerve of men. Let me tell you, so the story.
Right, your story, yes.
This is So I wasn't really dating, but sometimes I would try and sometimes I would go on to sometimes I like I'll download the apps and I'll spam them, right? And then I'll get annoyed. But I was putting myself out there a little bit. And this guy who we were kind of talking, but we never really initiated something, asked me out on a date. I was like, me and my new rules. I don't really know how I'm feeling you because what you kind of showed me was a little bit too much drama for what I want in a man. But how
Yeah.
about we just sit down, grab a glass of wine, and just chit chat, like hang out, right?
Right.
Which I'm if anyone wants to date me, that's probably going to be the first step from now on. It's not going to be us sitting down and having a full meal. It's going to be us having a glass of wine. Because if by the time this glass of wine is done and I'm over you, I can just peace out.
My old therapist used to say that. She's like, stop giving away so much of your time.
Yeah, no.
If it's wine, a tea, a coffee, and I know everyone online is like, don't do coffee.
Do
It should be
coffee.
low stakes for everybody. You should see, do I want to spend more than 15 minutes with this person? Then you do a dinner, because a dinner is going to be at least 2 hours.
Right. And I don't want to be stuck. Matter of fact, I won't be stuck. I'll leave, but I don't want to put myself
Dressed up for nothing.
Anyways, so we have a good hangout or whatever. We were supposed to hang out again. I had a thing I had to do super early in the morning, so I already wasn't into it. It was super fucking cold outside. Like right now we're at like 5 degrees. It was
Right.
probably some shit like that. And I started my freaking period when I have periods because I don't have them anymore. They were miserable. I found out later it's because I had giant fucking fibroids growing inside of me, but I didn't know that they were miserable. Like, take me out of the game for 2 days type shit, right?
Oh, gosh.
So I messaged him and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I'm not feeling well. I really wanted to try, but this is me honoring myself and my energy.
Don't let you be sick. Don't let you be sick.
I really wanted to try. And so he's like, oh, okay, well, I can come to where you are. No, I don't feel good. I don't want to be around people. I want to be by myself, not feeling good. Also, there's nothing more than I want in my life is to be around a man that is not mine when I'm on my period.
Oh, literally.
So-
and who are you to now be my nurse? Are you trying to just see my house? Are you trying to move in?
So I was like, oh, I can't. I'm at my mom's house because the thing I have to go to in the morning is by her house. And he said, oh, well, I can come and we can cuddle there. And I'm like, at my mom's house?
Desperation? Disgusting.
So I stopped messaging him and he kept messaging me about how he's such a great cuddler and everybody says that and he will help me feel better. And so I didn't respond for a long time. And I said, you know what, this story is longer. So I said, you know what, that's just too much for me. That's not the right vibe. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, done, right? Months go by. Every once in a while he'll message me like, give me another chance, give me another chance, give me another chance. Let me tell you, I'm gonna lean close to the mic when I say this shit. Stop giving men chances. I said, okay, I got
Because this is not yearning. When we talk about yearners, this is not yearning.
No,
You yearn for someone that you have chemistry with, that you're interested in. We don't want nonchalant men, but we don't want like insane beggars. We don't want stalkers.
Right. You could be respectful is the biggest thing. Like you can yearn for someone and be respectful. Period.
Yeah.
So I have free tickets to the Tigers game because I get free tickets. I used to get free tickets through my job. And I got them last minute and I was asking a couple people and I didn't have it. And I posted something on like Facebook when I had a Facebook because I don't anymore.
I respect that.
Protect your energy. Don't have a Facebook.
Right.
He messaged and was like, oh, hey, I would love to go. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's just a Tigers game. I love sports. Let me drink.
And there's also an aspect of you probably being like, he's persistent, and persistence can look like a good thing on the right man. But
Persistence can look like a good thing on the right man. It was more of like we had already had some like a quasi friendship, and going to the Tigers game doesn't mean I'm giving you another chance. It just means I need another person to go to this game with me because the tickets got to get scanned. Now I can scan them myself, but I'd rather let somebody else enjoy a Tigers game with me.
Yeah, why not?
So it was the day before. Day of, I messaged like, hey, let me know when you make it down here. Because we have to go in together because once I scan my ticket, I can't go out to come back in. I messaged him and I'm like, hey, just, hit me up when you get down here so we can go in together. Doesn't respond. I'm not fucking waiting on anybody. I'm going to this Tigers game, right? Get there, message him like, hey, are you down here yet? Doesn't respond. Get to the game, message him again, like I'm in the doors now. So already I'm over it. Got our both tickets scanned. Because if you did not message me through this whole period, there was no point. Do you know this man stood me up?
I'm not surprised because he wanted to take the power back. He wanted to take the control back.
He just
And he
wanted
wanted
to get one up.
and like this is who is in the dating pool
This
right
is my
now.
right. This is what we have to deal
Losers.
with.
Because it says nothing about you. You were being kind, consistent. You were setting your expectations, setting your standards.
Mhm.
You weren't trying to hurt his feelings. You just said, I'm okay. I don't need it right. And the first chance he gets, blows it. Because he's what? Petty. And because what are men stuck in? Ego. And what does ego do? It kills them.
That you say that because I don't think, so many people quote this, oh, well, men have egos and egos are so this, and that. And I'm like, let me be very clear. Excusing a man's behavior because they have egos is the shittiest thing we can do in society as a whole. That's terrible that we are blaming this one thing that is controllable, by the way. Because guess what? There are men out here who know how to manage their egos, who knows how to not let their egos get in the middle of a successful relationship, a successful business partnership, so many things. And y'all think that ego is the thing that makes these men great businessmen or whatever. Ego's the thing that ruins all these businesses. Like, do you know how many businesses on the back end change CEOs like candy? It's insane.
No, it's so true. And I know you're going to wrap it up soon, but I'll say I caregive for my father right now. So I actively live with a man who's struggling with his ego. And we're all going to deal with it as we age. But having grown up with my nana who was older and around those women, the way that they approached aging and the regrets that they have, the things that and my dad was a good man. I'm not trying to say anything bad about him per se, but the conversations that we have about some of the things that he's gone through and his views of women and his peers, his friends who come around, my uncles who are around, and they are all still fighting their egos. And a lot of the ones who are still single and alone right now is because they could not get out of their ego. And so when I always meet young men and I'm like, you're struggling to be honest right now, you're struggling to move with integrity, you're struggling to be accountable for your life, that is going to continuously eat you alive.
Yeah.
You won't have successful marriages, businesses. I mean, look at the football coaches the one who just got fired and got his
Michigan. Let me tell you how much that hurt. That is my team.
Please be serious, because your ego won't allow you to control your lust because you're greedy.
What do you mean to tell me that you got a once in a life opportunity to be a Black head coach of a collegiate team, a huge collegiate football team, the most winningest team in college football history, and you blew it up in a year because you couldn't keep your legs closed?
Mind you, it was his wife's care person, which makes it even more vindictive and nasty. And this is why when you say you're not dating, I understand why. That they got to do better. I mean, it's like we look at, what was it, Korea or China that had they got rid of all their daughters.
South Korea.
Good luck to you. You don't value women, you're not going to get legacy. You're not going to get kindness. You're not going to get love. You're not going to get the value it is of being a human because you don't respect who gives life.
Yeah. I'm in a place now that I've had a lot of traumatic things happen to me in the last year, so that contributes to it a little bit. But I'm in a place now that when it's ready, it'll find me. There's never been a relationship that I've had that I found on when I was looking, or that none of them were good either, but that I found when I was looking, that I found when I was on a dating site. None of those have ever happened for me. And for some people they do, and I love that for you. For me, it always happens organically. And I'm just going to continue to let it happen organically. And does it suck sometimes? I think men think that women are being single to punish them. I'm not being single to punish you. And it punishes me sometimes. I suffer. I've been celibate for over a year. Shit sucks sometimes. I'm doing it because it's the thing that's best for me. It's the thing that's best for my peace. It's the thing that's going to get me in the right position. And anything outside of that, I'm not doing anymore. I'm not putting myself, last little story. There's a man I dated. I'm poly, right?
Okay.
And we were both entering in this poly. It was my first poly relationship. Everything went fine. People think that it's women who have the problems. It was the men. Like, he was the one that was like, "Oh, I feel uncomfortable with you dating other or having sex with other men." And I was like, "That's fine. I could have an asexual partner." Because I could. I really like, I don't believe that a partner has to be sexual. And I think that's another thing that the people get into. Anyways,
Right.
loved me up and down. Maybe was afraid to say the word love, but loved me up and down, cheered me on, all of this stuff. I fly out to see him, dogged me the whole visit, the entire visit, dogged me. Loved everything about me, loved the way that I dressed, loved the way that, and then as soon as it was time for me to go and meet all the people that he was around, he's like, "Can you put a bra on? Can you not wear your crop tops? Can you not?" I'm what? Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. Before you even say goodbye, I
yeah,
just, as I like to tie up all of my, like, every now and then I'll do a video about this, but
mhm.
like, men cannot be upset about the terms of patriarchy when they uphold them. The reason why they are in the positions that they are in is because of patriarchy. So if you are not handsome and attractive, if you're not tall, if you're not making a lot of money, if you're not athletic, if you, these are the things you need in order to win in the world that we are all taught to exist in. So it is not my fucking problem that you couldn't catch a woman like me.
Oh my gosh,
You need to figure it out for yourself.
we gotta have another episode because let me tell you, I've said the same thing. Like, you cannot get pissed at the patriarchal system when you benefit and created the patriarchal system, and you get pissed at women for calling it out, but it's also detrimental to you. So if you want it to end, you also have to end it.
And detrimental to us, like the
Yeah,
trauma that you and I have spoken about, and these, like, I mean, my situations that I've shared weren't that bad in comparison to
yeah.
some of the other stuff that will be in my book. So make sure that you
Hmm.
guys subscribe to find
Can't wait
out.
for it to come out.
But yeah, it's just we go through so much, and they want us to forget. And I'm sorry, I will not forget. I am a scientist here. I am doing experiment on my own life.
Yeah.
What I've seen has traumatized me. Like you said, we pray that we'll find the partners that are meant for us, and in the meantime, just try to like manage the nonsense coming our way.
Yeah. All right. Before we get out of here, make sure everybody knows where they can find you.
Oh, yeah. So all of my content is my name at Tremana White on Instagram and Threads. I'm leaving TikTok, but if you want to see some of my old content, it's at Tremanalicious. And then my website is www.tremana.white.com. And that's where you can subscribe to find out more about my book and engage with my stories. I hope that they are funny to you and that they resonate with you. Know that I'm cheering everybody on in their, pursuit of love.
Yes. I'll make sure I add that to the show notes. But thank you so much for being on. You can come on anytime. This was so much fun.
So much fun. This was so great. I had a great time being bothered with you.
Yay. All right. Well, that is it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Pure Tifa Podcast.